So what happened yesterday? What was yesterday's? Was that picking jury? Is that what
Yep.
happened yesterday?
Yesterday was jury selection. I
Okay.
actually didn't see the rest of it. I stopped around this, the same time, 5:30 to 6 o'clock Central Time.
Okay.
But they had actually taken jurors back into a room for private. So you get to say why you don't think you would be a good fit for the jury, right? But
Okay.
some people have issues that might be very private to them as to why they're not a good fit for the jury. And
Okay.
so they had the opportunity to speak with both lawyers and the judge in chambers about that on an individual basis, so it wasn't public. And I did not realize that they were coming back because they didn't actually indicate that they were what they were going to do. But they apparently wrapped that up around between 7 and 8 p.m. Central Time yesterday, and they had fully picked the 20 potential jurors. So how this works, if I understand right, this is a little complicated for me because I'm not familiar with Wisconsin juries in this way, but they pick 20, 12 will be jurors, 8 are alternates. But my understanding is they're not actually told who is a juror and who is an alternate yet.
Okay.
So they will decide that at the very, very end. They'll decide who is an alternate, and they'll keep these 8 alternates there in case something comes up at the end, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like maybe a person comes in on sentencing day or on verdict day, and they're like, well, you know what? I went and watched a bunch of YouTube videos last night and dirty, dirty. And so then people are like, whoa, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Then that person has to go. So I guess it's or someone gets sick or something like that. So they have that contingent group. But from what I understand, we don't actually, no one actually knows who is a juror right now. And the 20 are all just sitting up there together.
It's not public information who these people are.
No,
Good.
no, not at all.
That's good.
Their information is fully protected. If anybody in the courtroom were to snap a photo of them or whatever, 1, it could be a mistrial. 2, that person would be subject to contempt of court claims. And you'll notice this, like the Law and Crime live stream today, there was a time where they had to pan over to look at an exhibit, and they pan at the speed of Glacier to get over there. And that's because the jury is just off to the side of that exhibit. And if they were to pan the camera too far, they could get in a lot of trouble.
Right. Okay.
So they're being very careful about that. The state actually disclosed that one of the audiovisual technicians who were setting up equipment last night in the courtroom did happen to see one of the jurors and disclose that to the court to make sure there was no issues that the defense wanted to raise or say this is unfair. There's no indication that that person's identity was compromised or that they were photographed or anything like that. But both sides do seem to be being very careful about it. I think that was juror number 52.
Yeah. Okay.
That they mentioned earlier. So,
all right. Well, I do have this. This is the breaking news from the New York Post about today.
God, they suck.
Kyle Rittenhouse repeatedly yawns in court during homicide trial. That is their story about what's going on.
And this
they
is
have
the New York
multiple
Post.
Pictures.
This is the Post, which is typically right-leaning.
I mean, dude, no, they lean in everything. They will report on like a different colored poop if they found it. They seriously, like, what doesn't the New York Post report on? Granted, they do some good work sometimes that I'm like, oh snaps, like this is some serious reporting, like bravo New York Post. But then of course this one, and I had to retweet it, and I don't know if you saw my tweet about it, but
I can look at it.
Can you guess what I said though?
No, what'd you say?
I said he needs some Kirkler coffee, baby.
Oh, of course. Yes. God, dang it.
How did you not? Come on. Kyle needs some Kirkler coffee. Hey, Kyle, if you're listening, I got you, dog. You want some coffee? I'll actually sponsor you. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with my political views, and I support Kyle Rittenhouse. So
not like another coffee company that is too cowardly to do so, right?
Yep. And I'm dead serious in that statement. Like, if someone has a way of letting Kyle know that I'll get him some coffee, I will absolutely. I don't have t-shirts for him to wear, but that's okay. Because I just want him to have some good coffee because we got good. Clearly, he needs some coffee, right? I mean, he's sitting in court all day. It was hard to watch you watching it. I mean, I don't know if that was more you or more the court. You know, it's
me probably.
Probably
no,
you,
it's tough, and you got the other factor you got to consider for this kid, right?
Mhm.
Well, he's not a kid anymore; he's a man. This guy,
Yeah, 18 now.
He's under probably more stress than he's been in his entire life.
Of course, yeah.
His life hinges on what happens here.
True.
I bet the man is not sleeping well. If I just had to
I
wager
agree.
a guess,
Yeah,
he's not comfortable. He's not getting a lot of sleep. You get in there. He probably gets in there. Court starts at 9, as long as the judge is ready to start at 9, but he's probably getting there at 8 in the morning and just being ready, because you don't want to be late to your own murder trial. Very bad form. And
True.
and he's not there to do anything. Literally just sit. Like, you just have to sit there. And so his whole job is to try and not yawn. Like, that's it. And he yawned a couple times. Everybody would yawn from this. You're tired and it's boring.
Yep. I agree.
Especially since a lot of them, a lot of those yawns took place during legal arguments that are unrelated to witness testimony or opening statements. Like, these are arguments during the objection and stuff like that. Because I saw when the camera would click over to him while he was yawning, and it's like, yeah, me too, buddy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's listening to lawyer speak, as it were, you know, it's hard to keep up with it, because there's a lot of jarble that, you know, they might be bringing up old cases or talking about specific laws that, if you don't really know what you're listening for, it could just sound like a bunch of just rambling words.
Absolutely. Yeah. And from Kyle's perspective, he doesn't care what magic words are said, right? He just cares that they end up with him not going to prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, there's only 2 words he wants to hear. That's it. Not guilty.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for. I want to move on. We kind of covered what was going on today and yesterday. Before we move, though, how long is this supposed to take? You know, what can we expect to get a verdict?
The two sides have agreed that 2 weeks will be sufficient. So the judge is under the impression that their 2 weeks is a generous guess.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see a resolution on this by Wednesday next week, Wednesday, Thursday. Otherwise, you know, it could go all through this week and next week, and it'll go as long as it takes. But they moved through 3 witnesses today, and will, you know, it all depends on their witness list and how much video they're going to play of the incident. Okay. Unfortunately, well, we didn't finish the 3rd witness today, and unfortunately, Binger, the state attorney, is playing an obscene amount of irrelevant video.
I saw that. I was watching you when you guys were watching that video, and I'm like, what is the point of this? Why are they showing this?
Right. Yeah.
Yo, bro. Hey, bro. I just kept hearing that. I'm like, what is this guy? Hey, bro. Like, what are you doing? You're an influencer? Is this guy really thinking he's an influencer? Like, that's his job description?
I don't know how many Facebook followers he had, but he had about 1,200 on YouTube and about 3,000 on Twitter. So I'm curious what his Facebook subscriber count
Keep it up,
was.
buddy.
So,
keep it up. Keep going for it.
You got to get it. I think today's going to be good for him.
You got to get it, dude.
Well, you know that the video you were showing from Posobiec, right?
Yeah.
That's his video. The cell phone camera footage.
It's from him.
That's from him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, his name is Corey, spelled very oddly, Washington, but on his video caption, it's Corey Elijah. Okay. And that's what was on Posobiec's video. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, man, it's interesting. Apparently we'll be done in 2 weeks or less. I hope it's shorter, but we'll see. I'll be covering pretty much all of it.